Welcome to Karma's Harvest. Today, we share a story about a young boy who was treated like a servant in his own home, only to rise as a master of his craft, while those who looked down on him found themselves at his mercy. The kitchen is often called the heart of the home, but for young Leo, it was a place of solitude and endless labor. While his stepmother, Martha, sat in the dining room feeding her biological children, Toby and Sarah, the finest delicacies, Leo was relegated to the shadows. He wasn't invited to the table. Instead, he was the one who prepared the plates, scrubbed the grease from the pans, and ate his scraps in the cold pantry. Martha treated Leo not as a son, but as a convenient, unpaid laborer, an obstacle to her children's comfort that needed to be put to work. "Leo, the floor isn't going to scrub itself," Martha would bark, her voice dripping with disdain. "And make sure Toby's steak is medium rare. If it's a second over, you'll be sleeping in the basement tonight." Toby and Sarah grew up watching this. They didn't see a brother, they saw a servant. They would intentionally drop food on the floor, just to watch Leo kneel and clean it. They were given the best schools, the best clothes, and the toxic belief that they were inherently superior to those who worked with their hands. But in that cold kitchen, something unexpected happened. Leo didn't just cook out of fear, he began to cook out of love for the craft. He learned the chemistry of spices, the rhythm of the knife, and the patience required for a perfect reduction. While Toby and Sarah spent their inheritance on fast cars and empty pleasures, Leo spent his nights reading discarded cookbooks by candlelight. The day Leo turned 18, he left with nothing but a worn-out chef's knife and the scars on his hands. Martha laughed as he walked out the door. "Good luck," she sneered. "You'll be lucky if you're flipping burgers for the rest of your life." 15 years passed. Martha's world began to crumble. Toby and Sarah, never having learned the value of hard work, squandered the family's wealth on failed business ventures and a lifestyle they couldn't sustain. Martha was aging, her pride the only thing she had left, as the debt collectors began to knock. Meanwhile, the culinary world was buzzing about a new restaurant called the Harvest Table. It was the most exclusive reservation in the city, run by a mysterious, world-renowned chef, known only as Chef Laurent. Desperate for any income, Toby and Sarah applied for jobs at a high-end hospitality agency. They were told there were openings for kitchen staff at a prestigious establishment. They arrived at the back entrance of the Harvest Table, humbled by their empty pockets, but still carrying the arrogance of their youth. They expected to be servers or hosts. Instead, the kitchen manager handed them aprons and pointed toward a mountain of scorched pots and greasy plates. "You start at the bottom," the manager said. "Dish pit. Now get to work." For 12 hours they scrubbed. Their hands became raw, their backs ached, and the heat of the industrial dishwasher was suffocating. Just as they were about to quit, the kitchen went silent. A tall man in a pristine white chef's coat walked into the scullery. His presence commanded the room. It was Leo. He stood before them, not with anger, but with a calm, piercing wisdom. Toby and Sarah stared, their mouths agape, recognizing the brother they had once tormented. "The steak is medium rare tonight." "Toby," Leo said softly, his voice echoing in the sterile room. "And Sarah, make sure the floor is scrubbed. I want to see my reflection in it." The irony was a bitter pill. The very tasks they had used to humiliate Leo were now their only means of survival. Leo didn't fire them. He didn't scream. He simply allowed them to experience the reality he had lived for 18 years. He showed them that in the grand kitchen of life, no one is too grand to wash a dish. And those who refuse to learn the value of service will eventually find themselves serving those they once despised. Martha eventually found out where her children were working. She came to the restaurant, demanding to see the owner, ready to unleash her old venom. But when Leo stepped out, looking every bit the success she said he would never be, she lost her voice. He didn't kick her out. He handed her a bill for a meal he had prepared for her, a simple, perfect meal seasoned with the truth. Karma doesn't always strike like lightning. Sometimes it simmers slowly, reducing, until only the essence of one's character remains. Leo had turned his hardship into a masterpiece, while Martha's cruelty had left her children at the bottom of a sink, washing away the remnants of a feast they no longer had a seat at. Thank you for joining us at Karma's Harvest. Remember, the way you treat those beneath you today determines who will be standing above you tomorrow.